It's just been really disturbing to see the way it's changed our school.
Now at 5, students walk out of TriWest High School to protest the firing of a whistleblower employee in a sexual misconduct case, brought to light by Call 6 Investigates.
That video that everybody saw last night was absolutely sickening.
That whistleblower shared video with Call 6. Now parents are reacting to an RTV6 exclusive report and supporting students taking a stand.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Good evening and welcome in. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullen. Students literally take a stand against the firing of an employee who blew the whistle on an accused child seductor working at their school.
And RTV6 was there today as students at TriWest High School in Hendricks County walked out of classes to protest administrators firing that employee after he worked with RTV6 to shine a light on a problem.
So let's go back to how all this got started. A TriWest teacher and coach, Tyler Bruce, is charged with child seduction and obstruction of justice in connection with an alleged inappropriate relationship with a then 16-year-old student.
This week, Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny exclusively aired surveillance video from inside the school showing Bruce and that student entering a room, the lights going off. David Pyatt is the now former attendance secretary at the high school who spoke to RTV6. He is also the one who took initial concerns about the relationship to the Department of Child Services.
The district cited multiple reasons, but it fired Pyatt just a day before our story aired after the district learned he had shared the surveillance video with us.
Meanwhile, Tyler Bruce is still employed with the school district and is scheduled to go on trial later this year.
All of that leads to the protest from students today.
RTV6 is working for you to get all sides of this issue and hold the school accountable for how the walkout unfolded today.
Our team coverage begins with Megan Sanctorum, who was really in the thick of it, with students coming to her after the walkout to share what happened. Megan.
Yeah, well, right now we are live across the street from TriWest High School, where earlier today we watched dozens of students walk out of this school in protest. They crossed the street to come talk to us. They tell us their goal was to show support for that fired attendance secretary, David Pyatt.
Got fired for trying to, for doing the right thing and keep us safe, and it's not fair.
These are just some of the students taking a stand and sending a message to district leaders. They tell us they are not happy with how this whole situation has been handled. Students had planned a walkout for 10:25 this morning, but they tell us it didn't go exactly as planned. They say a few minutes before that, the fire alarm was pulled. Here's video from a student. You can hear the alarm in the background. We are still working to confirm who pulled the alarm and why. Once students were back inside, a group got their bags together and walked out, planning to stand outside of door 5 because that's the one they say Mr. Pyatt often monitored. Some students tell us there were teachers blocking exits to try and prevent the walkout. And they also tell us once they left, they were not allowed back inside. One student shared this video of her standing at the door saying she forgot her car keys.
I gotta go get my car keys. You cannot come through this door. I was just told you cannot come through this door.
She had a Respect for Pyatt shirt on. Students tell us they just don't know what else to do. They say this whole situation has started to impact their day-to-day life at school and their ability to learn.
It's kind of sad walking into a classroom and just feeling like you can't learn because the teachers and administration is just so focused on one problem that it just kind of brings all the students to have anxiety and pressure, and it's just not a good environment to be around.
Their message for district leaders:
You have to stop sweeping things under the rug. You have to start doing things that are better for our students in this community.
Now, I reached out to a spokesperson for the district. I asked her about that fire alarm and if this was a pre-planned drill. She did not answer that. I also asked her about students not being allowed back inside of the school. However, she told me students were allowed back inside, and she said all absences will be considered unexcused.
And Megan, what is next for the students who walked out, and will they face any sort of discipline?
Well, we are trying to figure that out right now. We have not heard any word from the district about that. However, I talked to several parents today, and they tell me that some students were allowed back inside of the school and held in a separate room together for a detention.
All right. Thank you, Megan, for that.
RTV6's Nicole Griffin continues our team coverage now live from a local restaurant in Liston, where the owner showed a major sign of support today for those students. The restaurant is less than a mile from TriWest High School. Now, Nicole, the owner here decided to offer all of those students who walked out today a free lunch.
Yeah, Mark, that is correct. Rusted Silo offered all students who walked out of TriWest High School free lunch, and there wasn't a spot open here in the parking lot today. The owner has a daughter that attends the high school. I talked to him and another mother about why they are supporting students walking out.
62, 63, and 64.
Barbecue sandwiches and a side of macaroni and cheese. It's a lunch combo that did not cost any money today for TriWest High School students.
They left early. Why not come eat?
Rob Ecker is the owner of Rusted Silo Southern Barbecue and Brew House in Liston. He's also the father of a TriWest High School junior.
We've had calls today in support, and we've had calls of irate parents saying that what we're doing is wrong. But I feel in today's world, we have to take a stand, and we have to show those that are affecting our kids and teaching them and how to be adults. What it means to take a stand.
He's not the only parent showing support for the students today.
I graduated from this high school, so and I'm sad to say, but that stuff went on when I was here.
Laura Fleener graduated from TriWest High School in 1988. She's now the mother of a senior at the school. I asked what her reaction was to Kara Kenny's Call 6 investigation.
It made me sick. Really did. I mean, there's just no words. I mean, you put your students, your kids, put their trust in the teachers, and there is a line. I mean, and he crossed it. I was just blown away from it. It just disgusted me.
Fleener's son says the school district firing attendant secretary David Pyatt is sending the wrong message to students.
The message that they sent us is that if you do the right thing, you're going to get in trouble for it and get punished. So we came out, for Mr. Pyatt and to stand up for him because he was doing what he thought was morally right.
As parents support their students, they are also thinking about the one student that no longer attends TriWest High School, the now 17-year-old at the center of this entire case.
I just want justice for that little girl. I feel really bad for her and her family for taking all the ridicule, and I know the students at first, everybody's like, oh, you're lying, you're not telling the truth and stuff. So, but now everything's coming out, and the truth will be heard.
The owner here at Rusted Silo tells me he understands that rules were broken, but he appreciates the stand that David Pyatt took for these students. He tells me that providing free meals today wasn't just a way to support those students. It was a way to support the entire community because he says too much is being swept under the rug and out of public view. Working for you tonight in Liston, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Well, the school corporation released a statement yesterday addressing Pyatt's dismissal, which said in part, quote, Mr. Pyatt was a part-time attendance secretary and at-will employee. He was not a teacher. At-will employees may be discharged at any time without cause or with cause. However, NWHSC had extensive cause to discharge Mr. Pyatt. The basis for his discharge includes multiple incidents over the school year of insubordination, unprofessionalism, and disruptive behavior in violation of board policy, staff handbook, and federal law. You can read the entire statement in this story on the IndyChannel.com. Call 6 Investigates has tried repeatedly to speak with Tyler Bruce and the school board on camera, but they have declined our requests. The school district also declined our request to discuss the surveillance video with us on camera. And coming up only on RTV6 at 6 p.m., the story that played a role in the firing of TriWest employee David Pyatt. Call 6 investigator Kara Kenny's exclusive interview with Pyatt before he was fired. He shows Kara the surveillance video that prompted him to contact authorities.
Students will be back in class tomorrow in the Eastern Hancock School District after schools were closed 2 days for illness. The superintendent canceled classes yesterday and today due to the high rate of illness from the flu, strep throat, bronchitis, and other ailments. He said it was not an outbreak of the coronavirus. Buildings and school buses were cleaned while the students were at home.
Tonight, the coronavirus continues to spread across the globe. The latest numbers out of Washington State show the cases of infection doubling since yesterday. The stock market continued its wild ride in response to the illness, dropping nearly 1,000 points today, and businesses are being impacted as well. ABC's Megan Tevrizian reports.
The Senate this afternoon approving an $8.3 billion funding bill to combat the COVID-19 virus.
The bill is passed.
This comes as cases of the novel coronavirus keep climbing, both abroad and here at home. In New York, confirmed cases increased by double digits, but officials are urging people to remain calm.
I'm perturbed that people get anxious every time the number goes up. The number has to go up if you continue to test.
At least 1,000 New Yorkers are under self-quarantine, many connected to that first case, an attorney in his 50s. In San Francisco, the Coast Guard flying test kits to this Grand Princess cruise ship after an elderly woman died after being exposed during a cruise on that same ship last month. Today, several passengers and crew being tested for the virus, the ship not being allowed to dock.
Once we have results from the tests, the CDC and the state will determine the most appropriate location for the ship to berth.
The World Health Organization says the number of newly reported cases in South Korea appears to be declining, although worldwide, more than 2,000 cases reported in the last 24 hours.
This is not a drill. This is not the time to give up. This is not a time for excuses. This is a time for pulling out all the stops.
In striking images coming out of Saudi Arabia, the Grand Mosque closed for cleaning of the novel coronavirus. The United Nations says there are school closures in 22 countries, impacting almost 300 million students worldwide.
COVID-19 also impacting the economy. Businesses across the world asking employees to minimize travel. Facebook, Microsoft, and Amazon telling employees in Seattle to work from home. And the International Air Transport Association estimates global revenue losses between $63 and $113 billion. Megan Tevrizian, ABC News, New York. And recovery continues after multiple tornadoes ripped through Middle Tennessee and the Nashville area early Tuesday morning. One of them staying on the ground for 50 miles. Now, that tornado passed through 3 counties, including the one where Nashville lies. A total of 25 people were killed, including 5 children. The children and the majority of the deaths were in Putnam County, about 80 miles east of Nashville. About 17,000 people were still without power this morning. Most power should be restored by Monday.
Now to Democracy 2020 and the race for president. And now there are three candidates remain in the race for the Democratic nomination after Senator Elizabeth Warren ended her campaign today. Warren spoke with reporters outside of her home after making her decision public. She's dropping out despite earlier assertions that she would stay in the race until the Democratic convention. But she had a very poor showing on Super Tuesday, not even winning her home state of Massachusetts. That leaves Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, and Tulsi Gabbard. Warren said that she will wait to make an endorsement. Still ahead on the Now Indy at 5:30, are you on the fence about being an organ donor? The story of a little Fisher's girl may just help you make up your mind.
But first, it's work that is in very high demand with only 20 of them in the state of Indiana. How you can get an edge in sheep shearing still ahead. Kevin.
And look at the swirl headed our way of rain and some snow mixing in. We'll talk about the big temperature change on the way.
Shop and save today at Ashley Home Store.
Hiring Hoosiers is connecting you to jobs and ways to earn extra cash while laying out the tools you need to get there. Indiana farmers are in need of people to shear their sheep, with less than a couple dozen people in the entire state trained for the job. I'm taking you to the farm to check out this part-time sheep shearing opportunity. It is a shared skill in the Kennedy family.
My grandpa had sheep, and then my dad also had sheep, and they both sheared.
Colin Kennedy of Knightstown has been shearing since he was 13 years old. Now 27 with other full-time work. He shears part-time for farms across Indiana and neighboring states.
It's a great part-time to where you can still go to class and do this, or even, you know, someone that if you're working like a fireman or police or whatever, to where you're working a full shift and then you have a day or two off in between that you can come do something like this. It is good money for the hour.
His shearing skills keeps him busy. Colin is only one of about 20 professional shearers in Indiana.
I'm in high demand because not only do we go Indiana, we go into Kentucky and Ohio, Michigan, especially Kentucky because there's nobody down there doing it, or Indiana, there's nobody doing it. And a lot of the older guys that have been doing it are starting to retire. I'd say within the next 15 years, I don't know that there will be hardly anyone even doing it. So they'll have to get people from out west or somewhere else to come in and do it.
It's a trend that local farmers like Gerald Kelly are keeping an eye on. Kelly is the Purdue University Sheep Unit's farm manager.
If it wasn't for the Kennedy family, we'd be really short on shears, and it'd be a lot harder for us to get cheap shears.
With 300 sheep in his flock, finding someone to give these animals their biannual haircuts is a necessity.
There's been a lot of them they retire from it or stop at different ages, everywhere from probably 50 to 70s. And there's been a lot of them retire in the last 5 to 8, 10 years.
On average, a sheep shearer will charge about $5 to $6 per head. So all in a day's work, you can make about $500 to $600 in a single day. There are roughly 57,000 sheep in the state based on the latest USDA inventory, and a little more than 40,000 were sheared last year. It's a job that is physically challenging, but for Colin, it's all worth it.
I do enjoy working with my hands and working hard. I mean, I know, like I said, it is hard, but I do enjoy actually working hard and feeling like you did a good day's work.
And Saturday at Purdue, you can attend shearing school, a day-long workshop available to anyone interested in sheep shearing, regardless of experience. It starts at 9 a.m. You can find the info to register for the event at hiringhoosiers.com.
Did you pick up some shears, some clippers?
I didn't pick up any clippers, but I did pick up some lambs. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, it was just mesmerizing to watch him do that.
Move so fast,
yeah.
Right? It's a dramatic haircut.
It is.
For sure.
Completely different look.
All right, a completely different look for the downtown canal. The mayor today, part of the oranging of the canal to get ready for the upcoming Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Week next week. And so just a little bit of dye like that, it'll take time to circulate, and voila, there's the orange waterfall, and that'll be around for a while. Won't be long, and we'll be switching that to green, right, for St. Patrick's Day. Temperatures right now, they're mild. Our high today, 59. Look at that shocking change. We can talk about it, but to feel it will be a different story, and it will be very windy. So the wind chill temperatures through the day tomorrow will be in the teens most of the morning. As far as what's happening right now, temperatures will slowly start to fall. There's no big change here in the short term. Let me hit this button here, see what we got going. You can see to the west, there's a clearing line. So we've had this band of clouds move in. Skies may clear a little bit after that before the clouds filter back into central Indiana. Temperatures will fall tonight, and it will be considerably cooler across central Indiana for the morning. I can't get, this is it's like a garage door opener that you have in your car, and I use it to change my map. It's not working right now. So this is going to be the best weathercast ever for you, because you're not going to get to see me. I will stand over here behind the curtain and push a button. Okay, there's the swirl of rain and snow off to the northwest. That will circulate in. First, the cloud cover that you see. Then next will come some rain showers, may mix with a couple of snow showers. That's some very light shower activity from just around Kokomo to Peru. And we'll move to the east. There are temperatures 57 in Indy, 58 in Bloomington. Temperatures overnight tonight. Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah, I can do
All right, Amanda's going to switch this for me, and so she'll know when it's time to switch. I'll go like this, okay?
This one's my favorite one, though.
Let's leave it here for a second. This is Milo. He's got his New Year's hat on, so it's a little bit older picture, but he's still celebrating.
And a bow tie.
And a bow tie.
He looks good.
Temperatures will drop to the low 40s by 11 o'clock tonight. During the day tomorrow, we start cold. Temperatures in the lower 30s. That seems cold, but
oh, sorry.
It will be in the teens. There are the snow showers. They're very limited, but noticeable. It's just part of the transition to the colder temperatures. I don't think it'll have any real impact on central Indiana. Temperatures in the teens for our wind chills during the morning hours. The wind is the story.
I'm going.
Winds will gust into the 30 to 40 mile per hour range, and that's out of a cold direction. the wind will stay strong all day long. So however cold it is tomorrow, this is what happens as we move toward the weekend. Temperatures will warm to around 60 on Sunday. Here's the big question. I hit this button. Let me see if I can get us to the 7-day forecast. I'm going to have to rocket through this. We're both going to have to cut through the camera there. Temperatures as we go into the weekend. Come on.
Okay.
It's a little disjointed, but temperatures over the weekend, as I mentioned, we'll get to 50 Saturday, 60 on Sunday. We stay dry, no 7-day, stay dry, and then Monday we'll have some rain showers.
All right.
I'm having some problems.
Go over there
and I didn't help either. I
shake
tried.
the computer. That's
Thanks
right.
for your help.
Teamwork.
We'll be right back after this.
Quality flooring, floors to your home. That's who.
Dave & Buster's is hiring Hoosiers as it prepares to open its second location in central Indiana. The new Dave & Buster's is set to open on April 27th at Greenwood Park Mall. It will employ more than 230 people at that location. Positions include managers, servers, bartenders, cooks, game techs, and more. The company says besides working in a fun atmosphere, benefits for some employees include health insurance and a 401k. You can apply online at daveandbusters.com.
Still ahead, Pothole Patrol, how the city is tackling the growing problem in a larger way. You're watching RTV6.